Hello and welcome back. Today's video, I will be ranking all of my Colourpop palettes. I only have 5, but I did want to do this video anyway. I love watching ranking videos, and I have done a lot on my channel. I've ranked my entire eyeshadow palette collection, highlighters, blush, all of that. And then the other brand that I have done all of my eyeshadow palettes for, that is Juvia's Place, and that is the brand I have the most from. And Colourpop is the second most, so I thought I would do this one as well. At the end of the video, I did do a tutorial on this makeup look, so if you want to see that, stick around for that, and let's get into the ranking. Alrighty, number 5, last place, is sadly the Sweet Talk palette. People raved about this palette for so long and said how wonderful it was, so I finally did get it, and I gotta say I was slightly disappointed. Now, I will say Colourpop formula, it is one of my favorite. The mattes are a little bit powdery, but they blend very well. They are very pigmented. Their shimmers and metallics are beautiful. Some of them do have some fallout and require a wet brush, but I don't mind. I love the Colourpop formula, and I will say it is very, very consistent. My issue with this palette is, well, first of all, there were 2 glitter shades, which were a big part of the palette, and I did remove those. These 2 shades are from the Dream Street palette. I will say I have purchased other Colourpop palettes in the past, including Dream Street and the Zodiac, but these are magnetic pans, so some of them I decluttered. A few of the shades I didn't like, and the others I removed and put in with my Z palette. So those I'm not including in the ranking just because I don't have the full palettes anymore. I did like Dream Street quite a bit though. Anyway, these 2 shades are from Dream Street, and the glitters irritated my eyes so badly. And I know some people love them, and some people have also had the eye irritation, and some people don't want to risk it. And, you know, I totally get that. I won't be doing that again. It was not a good experience, but the rest of the palette, there are a few shades that I don't like. This one down here, it's just kind of a stereotypical orangey gold. This one, this is pretty. I do like this kind of shimmery orangey peach. Another issue I have with the palette is these 2 matte shades. Look how similar those are. Very kind of peachy coral. Beautiful colors, but they are so similar on the eye. Now, I really do like the colors that are left in here, except, oh, also I don't like this Super Shock. It's not very pigmented. So taking into account that I don't like the Super Shock, these 2 colors dupe themselves. The glitters irritated my eyes. All in all, it is my least favorite palette from them, but the matte shades that I do have left and the shimmers I do enjoy, and it is a beautiful color story. Number 4 is the Going Coconuts. And this one, I do like it. It's just, you know, not overly exciting. I mean, it is a very neutral palette, and it does pull cool toned, which for my collection is definitely a bit more unique. This is a good palette. The mattes blend well. The shimmer shades, they do have a lot of fallout without a wet brush, so I would recommend doing that with these, but you know, this one is very nice and I do like it. It's just not overly exciting, and I probably have a lot of these shades throughout my collection. The only other thing I would have preferred is, just because the mattes are so basic, I would have preferred if they maybe got rid of one of these 3 matte browns and done another metallic. I think that would have added a little bit to this palette. But actually, let me swatch the 2 shimmers that I really, really like. Cocoa Crush and Da Coco. Kind of funny names, actually. Those there, they are stunning, and I really do like those shades. They kind of make the palette for me, honestly, because they are so beautiful, and I don't have anything exactly like these in my collection. They're just really beautiful. I mean, the mattes are pretty generic, and I'm sure I have them elsewhere, but it is the Colourpop formula, and I do like that. And all in all, if you want a very basic neutral palette, this is a good one, and again, it's only $12. All right, 3rd place is the Mint to Be, and this one I did a full review and tutorial when it came out. I'll link that in the description box with some of these other videos that I have mentioned, and this is beautiful. It is stunning, and I really do like it. It's unique to my collection. I have a few other mint shades here and there through my eyeshadow palette collection, but not this many, so when I want a mint look, this is what I'm gonna go for. That's the thing about this palette though. It's all mint greens and mint blues, so you really can't do much else with it. Keep that in mind. If you're only going to use a mint eyeshadow once a year, you may just be better off buying a single. And the only other issue I have with this is that there's not a lot of depth in the mattes. This one looks deeper and this one looks deeper, but on the eyes, they're actually much lighter than that. So I prefer to combine this with another palette to get that depth that I would prefer for the outer corner. But these shimmer metallics, oh my gosh, these are amazing. And I really do like these. Those swatches aren't great, but yeah, like I said, I did a full review on this and I love this palette. It's just not something I'm going to use a ton, but I will say also I was tempted to buy the Urban Decay Ultraviolet palette. It has that beautiful minty color in there. And then I remembered I have this, I have a whole mint palette. I do not need to get a palette because I'm attracted to one shade, and that would not be a good idea. So Mint to Be is beautiful, but keep in mind it's very, very monochromatic. Alrighty, and number 2 is another monochromatic palette. It is the Lilac You a Lot. The only reason I'm ranking this higher than the Mint to Be is I do feel like I wear pinks and purples more than I wear minty colors, and I do think this has a bit more variety than what is offered in the Mint to Be palette. It has more variety for a monochromatic palette. This one is absolutely stunning, and there's really not a dud in here. As you can tell, this does have a pink and it does have 2 different dark purples. I like that you can do a darker outer corner with this or lower lash line, whereas the Mint to Be, like I said, is kind of lacking those darker shades. And the shimmers are beautiful. I really, really like these. This palette, this one wows me. I think if you like purple pinky type colors, for only $12, this is really worth it. These are really not the best swatches. I don't think Colourpop swatches that great in my opinion. I think it works better on the eyes, which is what really matters. So this is a beautiful palette, and I think for a monochromatic palette, it does offer more variety, for example, than the Mint to Be and some other monochromatic palettes I've seen. I also like that there's kind of this cool toned color. This is really good for blending out purples. And yeah, all in all, this one is so fantastic. I'm really, really glad that I purchased this. All right, first place, I'm sure you guessed it, the So Jaded. This one is fantastic. I can't not rate this as number 1. I mean, first of all, you get so many colors in it, and it is a lot more variety than the other palettes. And I will say for a larger palette, this isn't as ginormous. Morphe palettes are like out to here. So this is smaller than you might think. When I got it in person, it was smaller than what I had imagined it. So here it is compared to the Lilac You a Lot. I do like that it is not as big as a Morphe palette. Those are too big for me. And you get obviously a ton of shades in here. This is the one that I use for the tutorial, so I'll be doing that very shortly in this video. A lot of variety, but it's not random. You know, some palettes just throw every color out there just because they're gonna do a large 30-something pan palette. This one is curated. I do think Kathleen Lights did a good job picking these colors. It sticks with the theme of the gemstones, but it also works together as a palette. Let me just tell you some of my favorite shades. Ruby, this red metallic, that is one of my favorites. There it is right there. It's a beautiful red. This color, Fluorite, I did use a little bit of this in today's look, and this is very unique. Again, this one doesn't swatch that great, but it's kind of a bit of a purpley blue duochrome. These colorful matte shades are so pigmented. You'll see when I do the tutorial, they are really pigmented. This color Ametrine, this is a matte. It has some shimmers in it, but I mean, it operates as a matte. On my eyes, it just shows up as matte. This is a unique color. It's very beautiful. It's kind of like a grayish pinky purple. It's pretty cool. I like that one a ton. I don't have a color like it in my collection. Citrine, I was wearing this in a recent video. Very beautiful, yellowy mustard type shade. I just think all in all, this is a fantastic palette. Oh, Peridot, that is gorgeous. Very beautiful lime green metallic. There's so much variety in this one. You can do a ton with it, but again, it's not a randomly thrown together rainbow palette. It does make sense. You'll see in the eye look, I do wish that there was a matte purple. I think that would have been a lovely addition because you do have this beautiful, beautiful amethyst color there. I think a matte purple would have gone really well with that. And this one, again, this did have 2 glitters, which I did remove. And I put these 2 colors in here from the Zodiac palette. That is one nice thing about the Colourpop palettes. I love that they are magnetic, that you can rearrange it. You don't have to try to depot it. I wish more brands had magnetic pans. Colourpop does and Natasha Denona does, and I wish everybody did that. Yeah, I think this is all in all a fantastic palette. Oh, there is a Super Shock in this one too. And again, this one is not very pigmented either. And I know that in Kathleen's video, she had suggested using this as a topper on top of other eyeshadows. And I did try that, but unfortunately it did crease my eyeshadow. I have very oily eyelids, so that didn't work out for me. So I would say that that one was a dud and the glitters were a dud. But there are so many other colors in here that 3 duds really doesn't bother me, considering how much I love all the other shades. Alrighty, that is it for the ranking portion. Honestly, I really do love all of these except the Sweet Talk. That is probably the one that I kind of regret buying. The other 4 I do love, absolutely. And Colourpop, again, it's one of my favorite formulas. So let us know, what is your favorite Colourpop palette? I really do want to get more. They are so affordable. I mean, this one is more expensive. I think this is $39, but their smaller palettes are between $12 to $18, which is a fantastic price, and it's tempting to purchase all of them. But again, I don't want to purchase a bunch of them just because they're affordable. You know, that's not a great idea. But let us know your favorite. I would love to pick up 1 or 2 more. So that is it for the ranking. And now let's get into this makeup tutorial. Alrighty, I want to do a colorful look with this color here, this teal here, and I think this green. Now I will have to use another palette just for blending out shades, only because these are a little bit dark for me to blend, but you could do the look with just this palette. And everything else I'm wearing will be in the description box, since I already did my foundation and concealer and powder as usual. And I'm gonna go with this. This is the Glam Light Caliente palette. This is a newer one to my collection. And I'm gonna just use this light blue to help blend things out. This is the JH33 by Morphe, and I talked about this in my last Get Ready With Me. I really do like this one. And this palette is a little bit sheer as far as the mattes go, but actually for blending out colorful shades, for me, that's actually a good thing. So this is kind of a good color for that. And I'm just putting it in the outer corner. As you can tell, it's really not super pigmented. And into the So Jaded, I'm gonna go with this color here. It is called Turquoise, and it is a matte turquoise shade, so that will go in the outer corner, kind of over that other light blue. Yeah, I mean, that's really, really pigmented. I'm gonna blend this out with no additional product on the first brush that I used. And I'm getting so much fallout, and I put powder under my eyes. I really hope I can clean this up. If not, I'm gonna have turquoise highlighter on. All right, the next shade is gonna be this dark matte green. That's called Jade, and that's gonna kind of go here in this upper inner crease, if that makes sense. The Colourpop eyeshadows are definitely powdery as far as the mattes go. I have noticed I do tend to get a lot of fallout with them, which normally I do my eye makeup first anyway, but you know, for the sake of this video, it's easier to cut out some of the boring stuff. With a clean brush, I'm gonna blend this out. Aquamarine is going to go on the lid, and I'm going to use my usual sponge tip applicator. I just really do like that. It's my favorite. And I'm going to spray the brush. A lot of these shades do work better with some setting spray. I do that often anyway. This isn't a glitter eyeshadow per se, but there are a lot of glitters in it. It's a really pretty color. I'm adding back some of the turquoise. I want to add a little bit of this shade here, Fluorite, and I'm just going to use my finger for this. I just want to try to put this right in this area, kind of where the shimmer meets the matte. Alrighty, I feel like that added a really cool effect. I do feel like this crease could be blended out a little bit better, but I don't want to obsess too much because sometimes when I blend colorful shades too much, it does end up getting muddy. And I am gonna go with my Precious as a brow bone highlight. Alrighty, I did wing liner and some things happened. I could not clean up this under eye, so I had to wipe away some of the concealer and try again. It doesn't look great, but it is what it is. Let's do the lower lash line now. So I want to do a purple on the lower lash line. So you could do this color Amethyst. My only issue with that is I don't prefer to use metallics on my lower lash line because it enhances my lines. So I'm going to go with a matte purple, also from this Glam Light palette. But again, you could definitely use the Colourpop. It's just a personal preference for me. I really like the purple on the lower lash line and Moonstone for the inner corner. I put on my Bare Minerals bronzer, but I realized I actually have one from Colourpop, but that's okay. I forgot to use it. I am going to use a Colourpop blush though. This is from the Kathleen Lights collab in I Need Space. This is a nude type color that works with so many different looks. I want to do a pink highlighter, so I'm going to go with Too Faced Fancy Pink Diamond. I really like how pink highlighter looks with colorful eye looks. I really like the pink highlighter. That's a really good one. And I'm going to go with Colourpop lip products. This is Layover. This is just a warm type nude. There's something on it. And then the Luxe Gloss on top, and this is in Staying Up. These have a very fruity smell and taste, by the way. I really like these, very smooth formula. Luxe lipsticks, some of my favorites. Also very happy that these have doe foots. Their regular glosses don't have doe foots anymore. And actually I think this formula is smoother anyway. So yeah, I think this is better than their original glosses. Alrighty, that is it for this makeup look. I really do like how it turned out. Honestly, the eyeshadow could be blended a little bit better and there was all that fallout problem, but I think it worked out. Yeah, so let us know, what are some of your favorite Colourpop palettes? I really do want to get more, but again, I don't want to go crazy overboard just because they are affordable. So yeah, let us know your favorite Colourpop palette. That is it. All the other products will be listed in the description box. Thank you so much for watching.